Hello to this tier list. This tier list is about COVID-19 restrictions. We're going to be ranking the restrictions from keep it forever. It's pretty good. I don't like it, but I'll do it for the safety of others. Meh. And we don't need it now, even in the height of a pandemic. We shouldn't be doing it now. Shouldn't be doing it ever. So they're the different tiers. And I think I've got about 11 things to list off, and I thought this would just be quite fun as Newcastle's obviously in lockdown. And I think the whole country's got the same lockdown rules, like 6 people, 10 p.m. curfew. I think it's the whole country, but I'm not that clued up to the news. I only ever get it from Twitter. But I'm just going to jump straight in with the different things that we are going to rank against each other. The first one we are going to do is the extra cleaning of cinemas and just other areas where we spend leisure time. But keep it forever. Just going to put that straight up there. Oh, no, that's good. I'm going to say keep it forever. I was very, very surprised to find out that they didn't do this already, especially in cinemas. They didn't wipe down the seats every time and like stuff like that, which I thought was quite funny. Like, now we'll make sure to clean it after every screening. And I was like, that made me really scared of what they were doing before. But I think 100% we should keep cleaning down leisure areas. I assume that means like coffee shops, parks, even trolleys and stuff. When you get trolleys and they wipe down like the handles now, 100%, 10 out of 10. The next thing is nightclubs not being or be able to reopen, and I don't know whether to put this in meh because I probably will go to another nightclub or two in my lifetime, but they're not my type of thing. So I don't know whether to throw it in. We don't need it now. Like, we don't need nightclubs. If they were to shut down, I won't be too sad. But I'm going to put it in meh. Nope, that's wrong. I'm going to put it in meh because I have enjoyed a few nights out, but honestly, thinking back to them, just how like greasy and sweaty, just how close they are. I don't know. I think about it. But then again, if you've seen places like I think it's like Korea or maybe America, they've started doing like instead of having open cups, you have bags now with like straws going in. It's all much safer. Obviously, this would have been nice years and years ago for the amount of times like women are drugged in nightclubs. So maybe if we do have to keep nightclubs, maybe we should keep all the extra like bits of maybe not social distancing. I suppose you can do that in nightclub, but maybe all the little extra bits with like drinks and that. Hand sanitizer. And I assume I by this I mean just general washing of hands. Yes, we should. I was going to put it in good, but yes, we should definitely keep it forever. It really makes you think. Maybe I'm outing myself. It really makes you think how less I was washing my hands, and I definitely should be. It's funny how many people I feel like just never really wash their hands from some of the way that I've seen people on like TV and stuff going off. So they could be like exaggerating, but it is quite funny. Like when all the soap sold out, it's like, do people just not buy soap? Um, but yeah, definitely think we should continue washing hands and, like I said, wiping down all surfaces. But the one thing why I wanted to put it in good is because I think we should get rid of that hand sanitizer that smells of just tequila or sambuca, and it's like the most horrid smell, and it's just pure alcohol. Definitely shouldn't have that shit. I just normal smelling nice hand sanitizer that works, or washing your hands with soap. Just that's absolutely fine for me. But no, this tequila stuff, it actually makes me feel sick when we put on in shops. All the ones that are just pure lube and you're just been rubbing your hands for like 15 minutes and they're still soaking wet. HMV in Newcastle, if you live in Newcastle, HMV in Newcastle is that sort of one, and you just rub in your hands. And when you pick up DVDs to look at them, which you try not to do because obviously everyone does that, you literally slip out your hand because that's how like lubey it is. Fucking hate it. Social distancing. I'm gonna put it in good. Most people who know me would probably think I'd put it in keep it forever because I have a general distaste for people and people being close to me and touching me. And most of the time, I do really love social distancing now that like when you get to the traffic lights, people will stand like quite far away from you, or in shops, everyone gives each other enough room. But there are certain situations where like it's not the biggest of deals. Like it's like obviously in queuing, it's good to stand a few meters apart. But also, I've been told off before when I've been stood with like my friends and my housemates, and people have made comments like that's not 2 meters. Yeah, like we live together, we don't really have to stand 2 meters. But I suppose that's not the 2 meter rule's fault. Um, should I put in keep it forever? Because I really do like everyone staying apart. Nah, but you see, I would quite like concerts and like conventions of some sorts coming back. So, but you could social distance those. I'm gonna leave it in good. I might come back to that at the end, but I'm starting to realize I really like the 2 meter distance. Um, Groups of this is really being annoying. The next one is groups of six. I'm going to put it in. I don't like it, but I'll do it. Obviously, this is probably the biggest flex I have for a long time in my life is that I have enough friends that this is sometimes an issue for when we're going out. We won't be able to go to pubs or we won't be able to go to the park because there's more than six of us. Um, and that is my biggest weed flex. But okay, and like I said, don't really like that I have to do it. Lots of times we can't go out with our full group of friends or invite them along, even when people drop out, because then that becomes annoying because you could have invited people that you didn't know at the time. And like you just can't do stuff with all your friends because of 6 people. But I have been seeing groups of like 30 freshers walking around town, which is why I don't like it, but I'll definitely do it because I do think that meeting up in obscene amounts of groups is really gonna spread the disease even more and more. So stay in groups of 6, um, but also don't be a grass, don't be a prick. If you see all your neighbours having an extra 1 or 2 people around, I'm going to assume that they're also like in their own little friendship bubbles, so not going to worry too much. But if you're out and about, yeah, if you're out and about and like a policeman can catch you, or just the general public, try and probably stay in groups of 6. I'd say I'd probably try and do that with my friends because when we saw like 30 freshers, it was like wow, students are stupid. But if you want to have more than that, legally, I'm not saying that's okay, but the next one, which I learned off Shagged, Married, Annoyed, that podcast I talked about on my last tier list. One of the things that apparently has happened during lockdown is you can't get half and half pizzas from Domino's anymore. This is a bit of a quirky one I've thrown in. Um, and I'm going to put it in meh because I'm not a big fan of the half and half pizza. I mainly get margarita, which I understand is very, very boring. And as a vegetarian, I can imagine if someone got half margarita, half pepperoni, probably the meat would slosh onto the other side. And I do have a friend, which I won't name for his own. Just I won't name him, but I once had a friend who didn't like pepperoni, and once we got a half and half, he had the same issue of the juices flowing to the other side. But he wasn't a vegetarian; he was just a really, really picky eater, and that always annoyed me. So I hate half and half pizzas. So that's why I'm gonna put it. You know what? Actually, we need one for this bottom one. We don't need it now. Eat a full pizza. Like, no, don't get half and half pizzas. Nah, saying that. I suppose you could get one by yourself and you'd have 2 different types of toppings, would be pretty class. I'll try it. Never really had one before, apart from that one time my friend, which annoyed me. Might try it. The next one, I'm going to put it in good. This one is having to make reservations everywhere you go, like all the pubs and restaurants, especially when it was a out to help out. You had to make a reservation to make sure you had a table. I think this is good because it helps people like my friends group plan what we're going to do. It's nice to be like, oh, we're doing this at this time, but then also someone who's always late and doesn't really remember absolutely anything my friends tell me, especially making plans and just happen to turn up to things by accident. It is quite annoying because I'll either forget, be late, or when we want to go out and just do something like on a whim, like, oh, let's go and get some food. We've been turned away by like several places before, and bars especially, where like, no, if you don't have a reservation, you're not coming in. So it is quite annoying, but I do like the aspect of the fact A, everywhere isn't being crowded, and B, you do have to make those plans and sort of like schedule out the day. And as uni is now online, and I have really no issue to have a coherent schedule, it's quite nice sometimes. The next one here is the 10 p.m. curfew. I'm gonna put I don't like it, but I'll do it. I have some several thoughts on the 10 p.m. curfew. Obviously, it started in Newcastle now. I think it's nationwide. I think it's stupid. Hmm. I just said two very contradicting statements. Contradicting statements. I do like the idea of having to be out of somewhere at 10, so maybe I'll get an early night. We won't be up to like 4 p.m. Um, but am I? No, I do think it's dumb the whole argument of like, oh, if you're in bed by 10, coronavirus won't get you. And there's been loads of memes like how it's on like a 10 p.m. curfew. Like at 10 p.m. it comes out, it's gonna start getting people. Like I understand all the memes with that, but I do think it definitely will just install a new sense. Who do I think I am? I think it will just generate loads and loads of house parties for students and just everyone else. Because as soon as the pub closes, everyone's gonna like come back to mine, and it's just gonna make house parties go through the fucking roof. Which is why like the rule of 6 is also going to be quite annoying because that's just going to get broken in people's houses, which I don't know if is that bad of a thing as long as it's not obscene. But this will definitely increase parties. But like I said, if that's what they're sort of wanting to do, I suppose I have to adhere to it. Like there's no way to get around the 10 p.m. curfew. But don't really like it, but I'll do it. I was going to say I like it because like it gets you home early, and as someone who's very I was going to say I can't remember the word. Is it introvert? That's it. As an introvert, I do like to be in quite early, and sometimes I like it. I'm that boring friend that's like, yeah, I'm just going to go home. So that's why the 10 p.m. curfew did sound good to me. but it for the rest of the public, I can see why it's really annoying how stupid it is. So I'll give you that. The next one is mask wearing, and I'm definitely going to put it and keep it forever. I don't think there's any oxygen loss when you wear a mask. None of my friends are anti-maskers. We all wear them whenever we go out. Most people I know who aren't middle-aged and random people in the street do wear their mask correctly and everywhere we go. I have absolutely no issue with them. I do quite like the idea of them as a bit of an immature level of being like, look, I'm a mask, I'm Batman. I do quite like them for that aspect. And also, just on public transport and things like that, I'm not sure if the rest of my life I'll ever not wear a mask on a bus from this point or on a train. It just gives you that extra sense of like calm. And I remember when I used to go on the X10, there'd be people like sneezing and coughing up phlegm, like literally in front of you. And it was just one of my sister's boyfriend had someone throw up on the back of him as well on the X10, and it's just. I think we're gonna keep masks, and also in cities and like when pollution rises, the whole of Asia does it. Like they have things so sorted out over there. Not with everything, like not getting political, but wearing masks in public and on public transport, I think should be like should just keep it forever. Like it says, we should keep it forever. The next one is handshaking and physical touch with strangers. And I'm going to put it in, we don't need it now. We never should have had it. I think anything to do with handshaking or hugging strangers. Friends, that's fair. I do like a new fist bump or a bit of an elbow. I think they're both absolutely class. But I think we should get rid of the handshake. It was always disgusting. I feel like I don't know how many diseases have come about because of the handshake. I imagine it's millions. And yes, I don't think we need it now. We never should have it. I think in years to come, we'll be saying to our kids, we used to shake each other. We used to meet strangers and shake their hands. I suppose it would be nice if you met like a celebrity or a YouTuber or something. You're like, oh, I love your content. You shake the hand or something like that. But just fist bump. Fist bumps have always been cool. I was taught that at a very early age in school about skater boys. So I think we should do fist bumps, elbows, or maybe a hug if you're friends or family. But fuck the handshake. The next one is lockdown. And this is the lockdown, not like the one we're in now, the one that actually was a bit hefty, from March till September, which was like lockdown, don't leave your house, don't see your friends. I didn't go to a shop from March until September, didn't see any of my friends till August, but that's when the restrictions were dying down. And like I said, I don't like it. I didn't like it. Well, see, this is the difficult thing. I sort of did like it because, as an like I said, bit of an introverted. I really enjoyed getting to play all my games and watching loads and loads of films and TV that I'd sort of felt like I'd missed out on. It gave me a chance to start this podcast, or sorry, these videos and a podcast on Prandeecast on YouTube. It gave me time to do all that sort of stuff. So I really enjoyed it. But the thought of going into another one, absolutely fuck that. I don't want to go into another one. I don't think anyone's mental health could take it. I don't think the economy could take it. Don't really know how much about it, but I know it would be a bad thing. And the thought of going back into it sort of made me like, oh, like, that's not too bad. I'd get to catch up on everything I didn't do that I said I was going to do in the first one. But the idea of not being able to see my friends for ages again, not being able to see my family. I'm in third year. I've already lost enough of my, like, student life to lockdown, and fuck that. If they put us in one for the good of everyone's health, I'll do it. But I do not want it. It was looking back at it, like I did do well for myself, like mentally through lockdown. I personally did quite well, but I can see how a lot of people it would have affected them negatively, and I think another one would turn it back a bit. So not a fan of the lockdowns. Finally, this bread is banana bread, and this is referencing everything we all wanted to do at the beginning of lockdown. And I can't put my finger there. And I'm going to put it in keep it forever. Because I remember at the beginning of lockdown, everyone was like, oh, like I'm going to do so much cool stuff. I'm going to learn to bake. I'm going to do pottery. I'm going to read books. I'm going to get into gaming. I'm going to get into streaming. Like, everyone had all these ideas. And lots of people started a lot of stuff. So many art Instagrams popped up. So many Dpops opened up. Like, everyone started, like, YouTube channels, Instagrams, yeah, everything. Everyone had such a good time at the beginning of lockdown when it was still fun. I started podcasting. I started clay making. I started drawing a little bit, which hasn't really gone anywhere. I spent like 30 quid on a drawing kit, 30 quid on a clay kit. I just like spending money, and that was the only thing to do it. But like, we all had all these really, really cool hobbies in lockdown, and I think we should keep it forever. I think we should all be in a place where, like, once a week we can be like, this is my new hobby. I'm going to try something this week, or just every week. Because lots of my friends, like me, and I suppose we do have lots of hobbies, but lots of us as well, I feel like, do sometimes just sit around, be watching films or drinking. Not drinking as much, we used to drink a lot. And I feel like if we all just had hobbies, it would be so fun. Like, my flatmate might start streaming, I'm trying to do podcasting. One of my flatmates, I know it's his course, he does like graphic design and things like that, and he's gonna do me like all logos and stuff. And it's just like all these extra little things. And I want to start doing like tennis here. Kayaking probably won't be able to do for the winter, but I think we should just keep all those really, really fun things that we did in lockdown and just keep doing them and keep like challenging ourselves to do them. I think that'd be so fun. But yeah, that's my tier list for COVID-19 restrictions. Give me a comment or give me a message of things I've missed out. Please go on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and listen to my podcast. I think there'll be a new one out by the time this is out. Please subscribe, follow it. It just makes me look like I have loads of followers even if you don't listen, so thank you. Subscribe to this channel. I hope you like this tier list, and I'll be back again soon with another tier list. Maybe not as good as this. I really enjoyed doing this one. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you.